Jeremy Clarkson seriously injured in horror crash. What really happened? Jeremy Clarkson, the famous host of Top Gear and the Grand Tour, has suffered a series of serious incidents in recent years, from a near loss of his leg on a farm to a life-threatening heart attack. Here are the details of the events. In 2021, while filming Clarkson's farm, Clarkson suffered a serious accident while using a telehandler to drive a fence post. Due to incorrect handling, the fence post, which weighed around 250 kilograms, bounced back, nearly breaking his leg. Clarkson shared, "I couldn't walk properly for a week. If it wasn't for my luck, I would have lost my leg." In October 2024, Clarkson suffered a serious health crisis. After a vacation in the Indian Ocean, he felt tired, had difficulty breathing, and his left arm was numb. Upon returning to the UK, he was diagnosed with a possible fatal heart attack. Doctors performed emergency surgery, inserting a stent into the blocked artery to save his life. "I was lucky to be alive," Clarkson said. "I did everything I could not to die." After the surgery, Clarkson decided to change his lifestyle to improve his health. He started exercising, despite previously not being into sports. "I found joy in Pilates, which is a form of exercise that is not like traditional exercise," he said. Clarkson is committed to living longer so he can enjoy time with his family, especially his grandchildren. In addition to the serious accident with the telehandler, Clarkson has had other accidents while operating farm machinery. One time, he drove his Lamborghini tractor at night and accidentally caused chaos on his farm, knocking over a rubbish bin and damaging a gate. He has been compared to the character Jordan Belfort in the movie The Wolf of Wall Street because of this carelessness. In addition to the serious accident with the telehandler, Clarkson also had other accidents while operating agricultural machinery. One time, he drove a Lamborghini tractor at night and accidentally caused chaos on the farm, knocking over a trash can and damaging a gate. He was compared to Jordan Belfort in The Wolf of Wall Street because of this carelessness. Despite the many accidents, Clarkson did not give up his passion for farming. He continued to film the show Clarkson's Farm, where he learned and experienced the life of a real farmer. The show was loved by the audience and helped him better understand the difficulties in the agricultural industry. The Independent, the accidents and health crises helped Clarkson realize the value of life and health. He shared, "I survived by luck. Now, I will do everything I can to live longer." These experiences also help him become an inspiration to many people about facing challenges and not giving up. Clarkson's Farm, the heart of rural England. After nearly losing his life, Jeremy returns to Diddley Squat Farm with a new mindset. But surprisingly, he doesn't just come back to farm. He comes back as a symbol of the struggle between farmers and the bureaucracy. In the next season of Clarkson's Farm, Jeremy faces a series of complicated regulations, from applying for a farm restaurant license, to fiery conflicts with the local council. But it is these debates that bring laughter and sympathy from viewers, he laughs. "I'm starting to understand why farmers always have a frown on their faces. Every time you want to plant a carrot, it takes 3 pieces of paper and a signature from someone who has never set foot in a field." While filming a scene riding a tractor downhill, Clarkson, trying to prove that he still has top gear form, went a little too fast. The tractor skidded, and the camera crew held their breath as the vehicle tipped to one side. One wheel came off the ground. The fall was minor but devastating. Clarkson broke a rib, and was forced to take a few weeks off from filming. However, when the news got out, the newspapers ran headlines. "Clarkson almost died again. Was God warning him?" Clarkson laughed as he read, "I didn't think God had that much free time, but deep down, he knew. Age is no joke." And these injuries, however minor, were a wake-up call. After the accident and heart surgery, Clarkson was inundated with letters and emails, not just from fans, but also from farmers from Argentina, Australia, Japan, and more. One farmer from Canada wrote, I never thought a celebrity would understand what we feel, waking up at 5 a.m., struggling with old machinery, and facing unreasonable laws. Jeremy was genuinely moved. He said, I may not be the best farmer, but I am a farmer that is listened to. Accidents, heart attacks, near-death experiences, all of them have led Clarkson to spend more time with his family. He talks more to his children. He teaches his nephew to drive a mini-tractor. He, once known for his controversial statements, now chooses to quietly watch the Oxfordshire sky as it sets. And then one day, looking out at a field of ripening barley, he turns to the camera and says something surprising. If this is the last time I do a TV show, I'm fine. I did what I loved. And I survived. Audiences tune in to Clarkson's farm not just to laugh, but to witness a man who, through years of TV drama, is becoming more human. Less theatrics, less supercars, more mud and silence. But one thing remains the same, the rebellious spirit. Jeremy still argues with the council, still argues with Caleb, and still calls the cow, Linda the Menace. He hasn't changed at all, he's just more genuine. Clarkson still says he's not sure what the future holds. His health is still a question mark. But he keeps working, keeps talking, and certainly keeps plowing. When asked if he plans to retire, he laughs. I only rest when Caleb learns not to drop things in the pond. And so, the story of Jeremy Clarkson continues. Like the field itself, it may be battered by storms, but it still sprouts life. Despite announcing his retirement from television, Clarkson still couldn't shake off his theater addiction. When Amazon sent him a special invitation to film an episode of the Grand Tour in the wilderness of Eastern Europe, he couldn't say no. And so Jeremy, still wearing a bandage around his chest from a broken rib, joined Richard Hammond and James May on another adventure. This time, the challenge wasn't supercars, it was vintage farm trucks driving through the Carpathian Mountains, amid snow, fog, and a Hammond who fell asleep at the wheel. May quipped, Jeremy, you're not the only one who's getting old. But you're the only one who's getting old and stubborn. Clarkson laughed, if the old aren't stubborn, the young have nothing to learn. The episode, when it aired, was in the top 3 most watched shows of the month. After the adventures, Clarkson returned to Diddley Squat Farm once more. But one night, while watching the security cameras, he saw someone hovering near the tool shed. It wasn't the thief, it was Caleb, sitting alone, smoking, looking nervous. Jeremy came out, wearing an old sweater. Can't sleep? Caleb just kept quiet, then sighed. I'm worried about the harvest. The crops are dying from the drought. Clarkson sat down next to him. After a moment of silence, he said, farming is the only business where you can do everything right, and still fail. But we do it anyway. Because that's life. That night, there was no dramatic dialogue, no cameras. Just 2 men sitting in a field of barley, looking up at the sky. No one thought Clarkson was sentimental. But in his personal diary, which he kept in secret since his heart surgery, he left a few lines. I used to think that speed, motive and audience were everything. But perhaps, a peaceful morning with the smell of hay, the call of cows, and a cup of hot tea, is just as valuable. He never intended to publish it. But his daughter, Emily Clarkson, found it, and quietly gave it to a publisher. In the field, The Years Behind the Wheel became a bestseller.